The mainstream media's persistent narrative on global warming has sparked intense debate about the underlying motivations behind their persistent coverage. While the issue of climate change is undeniably significant, it's essential to examine the reasons why the mainstream media appears to be obsessed with controlling the public's perception of this topic. On the surface, it seems that the goal is to raise awareness about the looming environmental catastrophe and promote sustainability. However, a closer look reveals a more complex and intriguing picture. One possible explanation for the media's fixation on global warming is a potential for social control. By creating a sense of urgency and panic around the issue, the media can shape public opinion and influence people's behavior. This can be achieved through the careful selection of news stories, manipulation of emotions, and the presentation of biased information. The constant bombardment of dire predictions, apocalyptic scenarios, and emotional appeals can lead to a state of cognitive dissonance, where individuals become more susceptible to the media's messaging and more likely to conform to the desired narrative. Another reason for the mainstream media's preoccupation with global warming is the opportunity to advance a specific political agenda. The issue of climate change has become a rallying cry for progressive ideologies, and the media's coverage often reflects this bias. By framing the debate in terms of good vs evil, with environmentalists and scientists on one side and skeptics and deniers on the other, the media can create a false dichotomy that marginalizes opposing viewpoints and promotes a particular worldview. This can be seen in the way that climate change is often linked to other social and economic issues, such as inequality, poverty, and social justice, which can be used to justify a range of policy interventions and government regulations. The role of corporate interests and special lobbying groups also cannot be overlooked. Many large corporations and organizations have a vested interest in promoting the climate change agenda, as it can be used to justify investments in renewable energy, green technologies, and sustainable practices. These companies often have significant influence over the media narrative, either through advertising revenue, sponsorships, or direct ownership. Additionally, lobbying groups and think tanks, which are often funded by these same corporations, can provide expert opinions and research that reinforce the media's preferred storyline. Furthermore, the mainstream media's coverage of global warming can be seen as a means of distracting the public from more pressing issues. By focusing attention on a global problem that requires collective action, the media can divert attention away from local and national concerns, such as economic inequality, government corruption, and social unrest. This can be particularly useful for governments and corporations, as it allows them to avoid accountability and maintain the status quo while appearing to address a critical issue. In conclusion, the mainstream media's obsession with global warming propaganda can be attributed to a combination of factors, including social control, political agendas, corporate interests, and distraction from other pressing issues. While the issue of climate change is undoubtedly important, it's essential to approach the media's coverage with a critical eye and consider the potential motivations behind their narrative. By doing so, we can begin to uncover the underlying truths and make more informed decisions about the world around us. Ultimately, a more nuanced and balanced understanding of the climate change debate can help us to navigate the complex web of interests and agendas that shape our perceptions of this critical issue.